We are live, local and loud for our very first show on Eava FM, and my co-presenter Kevin is here. We've got some great guests on the show. Kevin, tell us who we got on our first show.
We certainly have, Jazz. In no particular order, we've got Siobhan Matzi. She's a very local singer-songwriter who has now joined a band, and she's doing some great stuff at the moment, and she's got some big gigs to tell us about. So we'll be talking to her in a moment. We've also got Teo B, who is a singer, songwriter and producer, working at HQ Studios in Leicester. And he's just released some lovely new sounds. So it'll be great to hear from him and spin some of his sounds. And also we've got Uncle Frank as well. He's drummer of Fun-Loving Criminals, as well as in his own band in his own right. And so it'll be great to chat to him and play some of his stuff as well. And also today's show is pretty much mostly about promoting Lara Jazz, which Lara is it's an event, one day sort of small festival, because there's about 50 bands covering 5 stages here in Leicester. It's on March the 22nd, and it's to support a couple of the charities in Australia that are mostly helping the wildlife that have unfortunately perished during all the fires that they've been having. So that's the lineup for today, Jazz.
Fantastic, Kevin. Sounds like we've got a great show lined up. And so first of all, we're going to talk to Uncle Frank. Uncle Frank, welcome to the show. Tell us about the band.
Then it's a family affair, Uncle Frank. Like I say, I've got my best friend, I've got my younger brother that plays drums, who's an awesome talent in his own right. And then our youngling, as I call him, Youngblood, Luke, who's also from Elston Road, Leicester. It's very important to me. Leicester's a big thing for me. Like I could have, like I say, I lived out in New York, and I could have really uprooted and moved and stayed in the States if I wanted to, but I can't. All my family's in Leicester. I do love this town. I'm well known for calling it the Promised Land. So, I've got my basketball team, I've got my football team here, I've got my BBC Radio Leicester, which I have a show on my home radio station. So, I just love this. And so but I am proud of the fact that we've took Uncle Frank internationally. We've had some great shows over in Europe, over in America. So yeah, we're pretty proud of the fact that we've done that. We've had major record label like backing, even though that is not, you want to be careful for what you wish for. I think
I was going to say, because like you say, you're on a record label. A lot of local bands that I speak to these days, they go, a record label's great, but it usually seems to end in tears anyway. So
yeah, it does. I mean, if you
any advice perhaps for those bands?
It's hard if you sign by a major. Life's easy. It's majors will get you popped everywhere. They got everything stitched up, from your record pluggers to TV pluggers for getting your songs placed in the right place, and fast tracking you basically. And that's all well and good, but you enjoy that ride for as long as it lasts, because even that will burn out at some point.
It's like Easy Life, I suppose. They're on a major label.
Yeah, and they're great, and yeah. I wish them all the success. But my advice would always be, to someone who's been on, I've been signed to Sony, BMG. I've been, been with some Chrysalis, all kinds of people, and things change. So my advice to anybody is don't put your eggs in one basket, and try and learn as much as you can to have for yourself, because at some point you might want to do it yourself, and as much as, because you're cutting out a lot of the middlemen there, and it's less chance that you're going to get burnt. And I think ownership of your music is very important. You have to realise that as artists, if someone's going to invest in you, they're going to want something which sounds pretty good, right? It's you need that, but you're going to sign your music away for 15, 20 years. Well, they will own that. And for however long they want to keep you in their back pocket, the minute they want to take you out your back pocket, might be 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, you go another 17 years where they own your music. So you've got to be very careful, you know what I mean?
Just renew it every year or something like you would with your insurance.
Don't worry, it doesn't work like that.
I suppose if you want to get promoted, you got to kind of negotiate and
Yeah,
sort of meet them in the middle somewhere. Otherwise,
Yeah,
there's no incentive in it for the actual record company.
Exactly. You know, it's got to be fair. But with the record business, that's what's called the business. A lot of the time, it's not fair. You know, you'll get promised stuff and it doesn't quite work out. And it didn't as far as Uncle Frank, but I'm past that now. I did a year of being bitter and wanting to hire the A-team to go around and kidnap them and all that. But I've kind of put that to one side, and now it's kind of like, it's more enjoyable, to be honest with you. If you've got a great distribution house, and there's luckily we're with AWOL, so it's international. So every release we do is dropped on every kind of streaming site and formats where you can go and get your music, whether that be Deezer, Spotify, iTunes, Apple, all of it. When we drop a single like we did last Friday, it goes everywhere. And that's good. They take a small percentage, but we own our new album. We own it all. We can decide what we want to do with it. And there's something quite empowering about that. And
Frank, you've used the word burn a few times here.
Yeah.
That conveniently leads us on to your next track, which you, in your sort of radio voice, can you kind of tell us what it's about and introduce it for us?
This is a song about passion and love, and it's balls out rock and roll. It's the new single from Uncle Frank, and it's called Let It Burn.
Let it burn, let it burn. The sun's gonna burn your eyes out tonight, so let it burn.
A new tune from Uncle Frank, Let It Burn. We are live local loud on Eava FM, and now we're talking Laura. Uncle Frank, tell us about Laura.
Well, I was approached by Andrea Kenny, who's a singer-songwriter. She's probably most well known in Leicester for being the singer of the Brandy Thieves, and I've seen her once or twice over the years, and I didn't know her too well, but she rang me and asked me to be a part of Lara, and she told me what it was all about. And I got to be honest, I was just completely blown away that she's going to take something on as major as this. I mean, you've got to understand that putting just as an art, to take just a solo artist, putting a show on is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of blood and sweat and tears. You know, to be quite honest with you, I love Leicester, but sometimes Leicester people really could do with a rocket up their arse. You know what I mean? Sometimes to actually get to an event,
That's it, yeah.
It's quite difficult. You know, you can have major people come and play in Leicester, and you're struggling to fill the demand for all, or you're struggling to fill the curve, and you're thinking to yourself, what do you need to actually come out and see something? So I was blown away when Andrea come up to me and said, "This is what I'm trying to do. Trying to raise about 10 grand. I lived in Australia. A partner lives out in Australia.
I believe she's on her way there right now.
She's there right now. She texts me. She's sitting in the gate of the airport to go over, and she's also, while she's there, going to be looking at where best place this money is that they're trying to raise is going to be focused on. But I said, well, what's your idea? And she says, well, we want to do it over 5 venues at the town and try and give it a festival feel. And you can basically buy a wristband for £15, and it will get you into any 5 venues. And then
so which are the 5 venues?
The Cookie, the Soundhouse, Firebug, Too Funky Calf,
Duffy's.
one more, Duffy's.
Sounds like 5.
I think that's 5.
That's
5.
Yeah,
I did good.
And they're all happening. Frank, it's all happening one night, is it?
It's all happening on Sunday, the 22nd of March, which I believe is Mother's Day. So maybe move your Mother's Day and do it on the Saturday.
All that could be your present.
Or that could be your present. There you go, £15.
Depending on your mum.
Where can people get ticket details?
That's a very good question that you should field over to your guest
Co-presenter,
Kevin.
Okay, you can get it from the internet. The site's www.laraozrelief, LARAOZ relief, RELIEF.com. That's where you can get all the information, and there's a Facebook page for it as well.
But look, I just want to stress that there's quite a few people that are part of this charity, but it's £15. When you break that down, there's 50 acts. That's 50 musicians that are giving up their time. It's 100% the money. So I know people that donate to stuff on charities, and you see charity benefits all around, your cancer trust and this and that. Let me tell you a little secret about how charities really work. And you see these bands that are playing on these massive charities. How nice is it of that band to play that charity? Their expenses will be about 20-30 grand. Yeah. So they'll take that straight out of the money that's raised on the charity. That's how it really works. With this, it's 100%. So none of the artists, me included, when we're asked, we're not making a penny. So it really does come down to the good people, the community that love going out and seeing live music in Leicester. £15 nothing. Break that down over 50 acts. It's like, what is that? It's nothing.
30p a show.
And you can go one wristband, all them venues, really make it a festival vibe, and it'll be for a great cause. Because when you look at the devastation in Australia, this is how bad it is. They'll probably never ever get it back to how it used to be. No. That's how bad it is. That sums it up in one phrase, really.
So Frank, for the homeless, if there were 3 things that could be done other than fundraising to make the life of homeless people better, what would you say they are?
Well, it's not so much. I mean, there is some people that are affected and have lost their homes. But really, it's the wildlife. I've been told I read a billion animals have lost, have been burned, which is just crazy, or drowned. So I mean, I can't really put that into words because I've never been affected in something like that. Yeah. It's like I heard Andrea being interviewed, and what she'd summed it up as saying is, can you imagine the whole of Leicester just burnt? No one's got a home. Any animals that you've ever cared for or loved, all dead. Just try and... You can't even imagine something like that, right?
It's like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, it's like a nuclear bomb. Well, that's what's just happened. And you've got people the other side of the world that are going to put their time and effort to raise a measly 10 grand. I mean, come on. Like you should feel really bad if you don't get behind this. It's nothing, and you get a full day's worth of entertainment with some great bands and local artists. Even that, just getting behind that and taking that in for a day. But then that bit of money that you've thrown in is going to such an amazing cause, and I've got nothing but love and respect for Andrea for dreaming up this. I mean, it's a massive thing to take on. I don't know if I'd be able to take on something like that, so I've got nothing but respect.
This is Soul on the Battleground by Uncle Frank, and then we're going to talk some more to Uncle Frank after we've heard this track.
My heart is burning up inside. This world is turning inside out, but I just don't stop believing in every single drop. Left my soul on the battleground. Words so high, bring your boundaries down. So very much alive, never die. It's still burning deep inside of me. Wake up every day. Body aches with pain, it just won't go away. Please lift me up. I need to stand and fight for everything I got. Left my soul on the battleground. Work so hard, break these boundaries down. It's very much alive, never die. Burning deep inside of me. Left my soul on the battleground. Work so hard, break these boundaries down. It's very much alive, never die. Burning deep inside of me. Burning inside of me.
That was another track from our studio guest, first studio guest, Uncle Frank, Soul on the Battleground. Frank, what inspired that track?
Oh, that's difficult. That's a very difficult question. That is to. How dare you ask me that? To be honest, it's I don't know. Some of the songs here, like I kind of write from life experiences. So, you know, me and Naeem will get together and kind of we'll put the music together. The music, not so much. Lyric is stuff that's going on at the time. You know, if I'm, you know, I have serious mental health issues, so sometimes I can be in quite dark places. So that song comes from that camp. Cool. Soul on the Battleground. Okay. It's like a battle with certain demons that I've had that I'm trying to let go of. So that's what that song's really about. It's a little bit deep to go into on radio, but it's kind of that. Musically though, that track was one that my brother co-wrote with me and Naeem, which is Boy Kid Cloud, aka Master Peels, aka Daryl Joseph Lewis Reed, who's just an amazing producer. So it's a special one, that is, because it's the first time. I think there's 2 tracks on the new album where Daryl's been a part of the writing, because normally it's just me and Naeem, but so it's a special one. I'm glad that you spun that one out. It's a good track. And it's the title of the new album as well, Soul on the Battleground. But yeah, that's what that's about, man.
Frank, when you get in the car, or in your case the van,
yeah,
when you leave the studio, what are the 3 most likely artists that you like to listen to? What influences your own music?
Well, my all-time favourite's Prince. I listen to a lot of Prince. Old Prince, quite rare stuff, not necessarily the stuff that gets thrown down people's throats at the minute. But a lot of Prince. I like a lot of old school artists from the 70s, funk era, and then I like my rock as well. So I listen to a lot of Rival Sons at the moment. They're like my favourite band at the minute. They're just amazing, and I know them, and they're good friends, and the singer's just a beautiful guy with an amazing voice. Very, very cool band. But you know, it changes from day to day, bro. Like it could be anything. I mean, the last 24 hours it's been straight up Warren G. Yeah. So I've just been caning Warren G, getting my hip hop fix on from back in the day. So it can be anything. That's what I love about music. It can be, you know, then I'll have a country day, and then I'll have a folk day, and then I'll have a Slipknot day, and then I just love all kinds of music.
Frank, what does good look like for 2020 for you?
It's great. A lot of festivals coming in, a lot of massive announcements that unfortunately I can't tell you about, because contractually I can't tell you about Glastonbury. Hint hint. I can't tell you about Uncle Frank playing at De Montfort Hall. I can't tell you about these things. So let's just leave it like that.
You can tease us a little bit.
But I can tease you with the names that I just dropped. But yeah, but there's loads of stuff in between that, tours and, you know, out in Lisbon and out in Europe, over in the States. Got a new record, got a new Fun Loving Criminals record that we're writing at the moment, which is nearly done. So I'll be going over to New York to finish that with Tim Latham, ISP, one of the greatest engineers ever, that's did everybody from... Well, just Google him, Tim Latham. He won 3 Grammys the other year for mixing the Hamilton musical. He's just an amazing guy. Did all Lou Reed stuff. Brilliant guy. So it's always fun being in the studio with him.
Frank, we could talk for hours. Unfortunately, we haven't got hours, so that's kind of the wrap up. Just before you go, where can listeners get more information about you, your great music, you know, access you on social media?
And see you at Lara. Where do you know where and when you'll be playing?
I believe that we're playing the Firebug. For Lara, I believe. I've been told that we're headlining that.
Headlining, yeah.
So that's what I've been said. But we'll move wherever Andrea wants us to move. You know, it's not about where we play. We really couldn't care. We just want to be part of it. So that'll be fun. If you want to check us out, go to www.unclefrankband.com and then just put Uncle Frank in all your social medias and stuff, and obviously Fun Loving Criminals.
Frank, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
This is Kiss and Tell by Uncle Frank.
Is true. Best stop now, 'cause the joke's on you. Tell me, little darling, is it true what they say? Or is it best left to rainy day. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. Please don't ask, I don't kiss and tell. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. Please don't ask, I don't kiss and tell. Tell me, little darling, what you coming with now? Not in the mood for another round. Tell me, little darling, why your face is so down. You got no money to go up the town. You didn't know already, life ain't like that. Jeremy Kyle for a little chit chat. So tell me, little darling, are you on TV? Have you seen his guests? Could afford me. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. I don't kiss and tell. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. I don't kiss and tell. Tell me, little darling, how we gonna fix this? Share a little drink and a bag of crisps. Tell me, little darling, are you under the bridge? Your feelings out of date in the fridge. Always trying to see your point of view. You can't see far, 'cause it's all about you. Tell me, little darling, shall we cash it all in? We stick till the end, none of us win. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. Please don't ask, I don't kiss and tell. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. Please don't ask, I don't kiss and tell. I don't kiss and tell.
Hey Teo, welcome.
Hello, how are we doing?
All good, and Frank is a hard act to follow. No
He
pressure.
is. He's a
But
cool guy.
I say on this show we like to get the diversity of music in and around Leicester. Tell us about your tunes. What's your style of music?
My style of music is urban pop music. If you're going to put it in a box, but then there's flavours from every continent. We've got indie rock. I was always like a huge fan of indie rock. I was
Yeah.
raised on the Beatles, Oasis, and I find it difficult not to, for that kind of lyricism, not to slip into mine, and I don't know why I don't want it not to.
So, how long have you been performing music?
Performing music
Yeah.
since I was very small. I'm
How
still
small?
quite small, but probably
From a baby.
probably about. I think I was probably about 8 when you're in school and maybe you have piano lessons and then they get all the parents in one night and
Yeah.
they have to sit through. They have to sit through hours of kids struggling to play.
Are you a
simple
solo
tunes.
performer? Or have you got a band?
I'm a
musician?
solo performer. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
But you do a lot of production as well, don't you? Or producing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I produce all my own music. I produce for other artists too. Songwrite for a few other artists. So
So give us a few names. Who are some of the other guys?
a few names. So people that I'm working with.
Yeah.
We've got Fadiz. He's from Nottingham. He's amazing rapper. I've produced for him. Harry Giorgio and I. Have you guys?
Harry,
heard of
yeah, Harry's
Giorgio
been on the
and I?
show, yeah,
So Harry, You know, we've been muddling with the ideas of me maybe writing a song for him for a while.
Yeah.
And I showed him a few songs the other day, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I really like this song." And I was like, "No, I love that song." Maybe we'll both release it.
So how does the producing thing work? How do you kind of hook up with the artists? Is it kind of like networking? Is it do they kind of hunt you down because they hear some of your other work? You know.
Right now it's just been networking. I think the biggest thing I've done so far was working with Jaffro.
Yeah.
We released just a short thing through Red Bull called the Swift 16. I think it's their most popular one that they've had so far. Obviously, you know, down to his prowess as a rapper. But that came about just because I was leaving the studio.
Yeah.
We've got 2 studios at HQ Recording. I was leaving one. I wanted to say goodbye in the other. And just the producer in there was like, "We've got this idea for a beat. Do you reckon like you could help us with it?" Hour later, the beat was done, and then that was it. So
tell me, what do you write about?
what do I write about?
Yeah.
I have a few different styles of songwriting. I think my favourite one to work inside of, I try and capture the listener's attention. I've written music for myself for a very long time, and now that it's becoming a career, I decided it's more about who's listening to it. So if I can think of a phrase, or if I can think of something that captures me, and I think, you know, so if someone heard that, they might be like, you know, that means something to me. If I can change someone's day in that way, I think it would. Could be love, could be pain, could be anything.
We're going to spin up another one of your tracks, Romance Master. Just before we do that, you mentioned that you didn't really set out in a career as a musician. It was kind of a bit different. You actually set out to be a doctor. So how does a doctor become a musician?
That's right. Well,
You don't look old enough either.
well, I dropped out. I dropped out of medical school about halfway and a few £1,000 into a degree. We won't worry about the debt though. Student loans company, you're never getting it back. But that didn't make me happy. It made me very unhappy, and the thought of spending 40, 50 years being that unhappy just wasn't attractive. So
Teo, this track, Romance Master, can you tell us what it's about and introduce it for us?
Absolutely. So you're 16 years old and you fall in love. You're just coming of age, everything feels different, you're starting to get to know about the world. You fall in love, it goes really badly. But you still remember what it was like, right? That's the romance.
You know exactly what you came here for. You growing up, you ain't the same no more. No, you're a demon on the dance floor. Tease them, but they want more. Looking for the transport. R-O-M-A-N-C-E. She's exactly what you asked for. Telling you she needs your R-O-M-A-N-C. And she's the girl you're seeing in your dreams. She tastes like chocolate. You resist but can't stop it. Tell me what you want, you just want to be free. Cause life has got you down, so who'd you come and see? You say you wanna talk, but I don't think that's all you need. You want some more, you want it all, you know exactly what you came here for. We grown up, we ain't the same no more. You're a demon on the dance floor. Tease them, but they want more. Looking for the chance for R-O-M-A-N-C-E. She's exactly what you asked for. Telling you she needs your R-O-M-A-N-C. And she's the girl you're seeing in your dreams. She tastes like chocolate. And who doesn't like chocolate? I try take it easy, don't be stressing on me. Baby girl, I love when you're undressing for me. Pillow talk, talking about our worst fears, oh. Imagine we ain't been like that since last year, no. But you know just what you came for. You know. No, you're a demon on the dance floor. Tease them, but they want more. Looking for the transport. R-O-M-A-N-C-E. She's exactly what you asked for. Telling you she needs your R-O-M-A-N-C. And she's the girl you're seeing in your dreams. She tastes like chocolate. You resist but can't stop it.
That is another track from our studio guest, Romance Master, Teo B. Teo, tell us about Laura. You're at Laura. What does it mean to you?
That's right. So this is an opportunity for me to share my music and do something really great and worthwhile at the same time. I think when the majority of the wildfires were happening in Australia, and you know you're seeing it on social media in a place like England, where the weather's bad but it's not extreme. It's like it's always been very surreal for me to understand and to see things like this happening, you know, on the same planet.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine it, could you?
Which I literally can't imagine it. Which is why. It's a little bit scary, it's a little bit surreal for me, but I am deeply grateful for the opportunity to go ahead and be a part of this.
I think with Australia also, like me, you always kind of see it as a bit of a paradise, a really nice place all year round and so on, and it really is a shock. Yeah, it kind of breaks some of the idyllic images, isn't it? Of
Definitely.
So when are you? Well, where are you performing at Laro?
So I will be performing at Too Funky at the Music Cafe. Set time, TBC.
Too Funky being obviously just near in Braunston Gate, isn't it?
Yeah, just near Big Tesco. I think that's the main landmark near Big Tesco. Just round the corner from there.
Shopping on the way.
Get your sandwiches, maybe a sneaky couple of bevs. Don't tell the new owner I say that. Come round. It's going to be.
That's it. I love Music Cafe as well. It's a lovely atmosphere in there, isn't it?
Yeah,
lovely venue.
So it's so relaxed, so together.
Yeah. So Terry, what does the next couple of years look like for you in terms of good? You know, where would you like to be?
I would like to be well on my way to securing myself a place in the music industry, which means I have a lot of work to do in terms of finding people who enjoy the music and finding people who want to be a part of the music and the vision that I have for my music. So I know what great looks like, I know what unreal looks like, but good, I think, is just finding people in the UK who connect with this music. It means something to them.
So sadly, we're going to have to let you go because we've got Siobhan to bring on as well, and it's our first show, so you know we're kind of tweaking things as we go along. But it's been a real pleasure having you. Just before you go, just tell us, you know, where people can access your work and your music.
So find me on all social medias at Teo B World. Teo spelled Tayo B World. I'm signed to HQ Recording as a management deal, and generally in Leicester.
Teo, best of luck, and do keep in touch and come back and tell us how things are going in months to come. Yeah,
will do.
We're going to hear another one of your tracks in a moment.
Can I introduce the track?
Yeah, of course you can.
Awesome. So this is Shoulda Known. This is a collaboration between myself and the fantastic singer Fionn Rebecca. It's not out yet. It's forthcoming. So this is the premiere. Hope you enjoy it.
You don't want me to come around. Something telling me that she's still in town. Is she the one that you've been creeping round with? 'Cause if she is, let me know, I won't let you in. Something's coming for you, so get ready. And there's nothing I'll do but get you out of my head and away from my heart. I should've seen it coming, should've known from the start. Step away from my mind, 'cause I want you so far.
Something ain't the same when I come around.
When he comes around, don't turn him back around.
Like it's still in place, but it can't be found.
No, it can't be broke.
Guess I don't know what to say about this that you found out. Cause I stayed out and you see me on Snapchat with my ex in her old flat, and it weren't for no chit chat. Guess she should've known it from the start. Known it from the start. Known I'd split her heart. Yeah, I know how it is, so I'm steady. Packed up all of my, I got ready. Been bag full of clothes, I'm cold out in the rain. Cause I gotta get
Out of my head and away from my heart. I should've seen it coming, should've known from the start. Step away from my mind, cause I want you so far that I can't see your lies when you walk through the dark. Out of my head and away from my heart. I should've seen it coming, should've known from the start. Step away from my mind, cause I want you so far that I can't see your lies when you walk through the dark.
Guess she should've known it from the start. Known it from the start. Known I'd split her heart. Guess she should've known it from the start. Known it from the start. Known it from the start.
And our final guest on today's show is Gaughan Matsey. Gaughan, hi, welcome to the show. Is it all your own stuff, and what do you write about in terms of your music?
Well, yes, I write all of my own stuff. Like I say, it's sort of stuff that's going on in my life, or how the way I'm feeling. It mainly, to be honest with you, in the sort of writing process, I always tend to start with the riff on guitar, or I have like a melody in my head for the instruments, and then the words sort of place themselves on top depending on what's going on at that moment.
Are you a soloist, or have you got like a band?
Well, I am a soloist, but I have a band that back me at the moment, which is awesome because they make my music sound 10 times better. So
I wouldn't say better.
Oh,
I
I
always
would.
loved you when you're doing your solo stuff.
I mean, I still do my solo stuff as well, but it kind of gives it a different sound.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I really like both of them.
Mm.
Really good to watch and very good to listen to. So I like them both equally.
Yeah, good.
Because you're a good front person in a band as well, aren't you?
Am I?
Well, yeah, from the audience point of view.
Yeah, I just enjoy it. I think that's the key to success, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? Just enjoy what you're doing.
And you, along with your other musicians, get really into the music. So
yeah,
quite
absolutely.
animated, and then that comes over across to us, the audience.
Good.
Gaughan, we've spoken a lot about your music, and you kind of this is quite an opportunely titled track, because you kind of talked about how things have kind of run away with themselves, and you want to bring it back to what you want. It's What Have I Become? Maybe you could kind of tell us about the song and introduce it for us.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the EP that is the latest release is called Consumed by Chaos, which sort of says it in itself, really. It's, things got to quite a chaotic state in my life, and this track sort of started with the main riff, which you'll hear immediately as soon as you listen to the song. But yeah, it's just about sort of being completely overwhelmed with what's going on around you and emotions, and yeah, it's called What Have I Become.
I'm a pool that no one's getting in. I'm sinking slowly and I can't swim. The taste of the fear is so biting my tongue. The bleach and the blood as it fills my lungs.
woke the lion from its slumber. I shook the cage and hid under you. I watched its teeth as it teared you apart. Each piece I used to mend my broken heart. So what then? What have I become? You made me what I am. Shock and then, no surprises now. All the lies you have stolen. What then? What have I become? Forgetting what I never knew. Gave up the way I felt about you. The cracks in your eyes are porcelain. Seeps the scars hidden behind your skin. So what then? What have I become? You made me what I am. Shocking then, no surprises now. All the lies you have stolen. So what then? What have I And the screams of the sirens as the sun is dying out. With a film so much down, no way in, no way out. And the darkness fills me now. I'm not sure what to do without. With this building all over town, I will burn it down.
Eava FM, live, local and loud, bringing you the best of local entertainment, music artists from in and around Leicester. And one such person is in the studio with us today, Siobhan Matsey, and that is a song that she's kindly brought to the show today, What Have I Become? Siobhan, tell us about Laura. You're doing Laura, why are you doing it, what does it mean to you, and what would the ideal outcome be for you?
Well, I mean, for a start, I'm sort of. It's actually another band that I'm in called Small Man Society. I play bass in the band. Unfortunately, my own stuff, as I said, because I'm sort of taking a musical, like gigging break. I won't be performing as a solo artist, but I'm performing. You know, I'm still able to perform, which is great.
What's have you there as a musician kind of says what the standard of music's going to be like.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, so many of the artists are my friends and people I've known, and you know, Andrea's a really good friend of mine, and you know, she's got, as Frank said, she's got connections to Australia, and you know, they're collecting sort of on behalf of, I believe, sort of the smaller animal sanctuaries and things like that that have unfortunately been, you know, inundated with the chaos that is happening there.
Yeah.
And I like animals a lot. So
Have you ever been to Australia?
I unfortunately haven't, no.
Neither have I.
But yeah, I'd like to.
I'm
one
sure
day.
Kevin has, he's well travelled.
I'm sure we'll feel like we have when Andrea's posting her selfies and
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
She's there at the moment. isn't she?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
So in terms of, which are the venues that you can be most often found at
Oh,
performing?
gosh, that is a very good question. Well, on
Or
Saturday.
are you all over the place, literally?
All over the place, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've pretty much played in every venue in Leicester.
Brilliant.
Truth be told.
Yeah.
And outside, quite because
Yes.
you used to busk a lot, didn't you?
Yeah. I gave that a go. To be fair, I actually really enjoyed it. It's a shame because I don't have as much time to do it, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to busk. But in terms of my gigs coming up, I'm playing at the Black Horse, Leicester, which is on Braunston Gate. Yeah.
Oh, lovely little place.
Yeah, it's.
Proper ale
Do you know
there,
what?
isn't
It is such a good vibe in there. Like, so I'm playing solo there, and it's sort of like a 45-minute set kind of deal. And yeah, it's really small, really good ale, dog friendly.
Yes, I
which is
know.
like bonus because absolutely love a good doggo.
Yeah, me too. And
yeah.
but they've got a cat there, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got
Which
a
is
cat.
Lots of entertainment for my
Yeah,
dog.
exactly.
Well, apparently they're opening a cat cafe in Highcross, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, we digress. So,
No dogs
Siobhan, what about festivals? What you got going on this year?
Oh, blimey! Festival
Or gigs? Just tell us about the whole
Yeah.
Siobhan thing.
Well, I've got some really good gigs coming up actually. Like I say, I've got the Black Horse, which is this Saturday in Leicester. I'm also playing on I believe it's the 8th of March, which is the Sunday. I'm playing at what's called the Femme Powered Club Night, which is a celebration of International Women's Day, and that's at Rough Trade in Nottingham. And me and the band are headlining it, which
wow.
is amazing.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, I've never played at Rough Trade, so to headline it is banging. And then I'm going to do a solo set at the Dog and Moon in Derby on the 13th of March, 2020.
You're spreading your wings a bit now, then, aren't you?
I am.
'Cause you
Well,
used to do a lot of
I mean, to be
slow
fair,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, I did a little tour in Germany about a year and a bit ago, which was
Yeah.
awesome. We've played sort of up and down the UK really. Trying to get out there. Trying,
Going
yeah.
back to Germany? Europe?
I'd like to, yeah, I'd really like to. But yeah, I'm
They
gonna
won't
sort
have
of
you back.
I think I'm gonna No, do you know what? It was amazing. Honestly, they absolutely love music over there.
Right.
I was playing house shows most of the time, and honestly, I played in a flat, and there was just literally like a queue of people outside the flat.
Well,
Which is bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, Siobhan, it's great to be popular, I'm sure. Finally, Siobhan, where can listeners get more access to your work and your social media? Where are you?
I'm on all of the socials, so Facebook, just type in Siobhan Matzei, which is SIOBHAN MAZZEI. I'm also on Twitter, on Instagram, and I have a website which is www.siobhanmatzei.com.
Siobhan, as always, it's been a pleasure, and do keep
Thank
coming
you.
back and updating us on your sort of upward trajectory in the world of local music. So thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Finally, Kevin, just a quick wrap up. We've had 3 great artists on today: Uncle Frank, Teo B, and of course Siobhan. In sort of 15 seconds, what does the local music scene look like before our next show?
I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Loads of stuff lined up, but as we know, the main one is Lara. For those that want to get any more information about what's going on in the Leicester music scene, look out www.musicinleicester.co.uk. It's all in there, including the gig diary of what's coming up and Siobhan's gigs as well.
Fantastic. As always, listeners, it's been a pleasure. You've been listening to Drive Time on Eava FM, our live, local and loud music special. We hope to make it a regular thing. Going to close it today with another track from our final guest, Siobhan Matzei, I'm Not Scared.
I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of trying. No. silence kills before the fight. My bark in your back.